Thank you.
Hello, Mrs. Brown. I'm so glad you can join us. This is Mrs. Brown, reporter of Back in the Day Times. She went on a train all across the country to meet with me today to answer a few simple questions. Here we go.
My pleasure.
Could you tell us a bit more about Mr. Twain's new book?
Well, Mr. Twain's writing is different. It's not about the perfect angel of a boy doing everything he's supposed to do. In the novel, Tom is away to attend his own funeral, and he tricks other boys into doing his chores and even sneaks into a complicated cave to retrieve buried treasure.
What do people think of the adventures of Tom Sawyer?
Well, the novel is loved not only by boys, but by any man who has ever been a boy. The book is new and exciting for all ages. You would prefer to read about a boy tricking others into whitewashing his fence than a good boy whitewashing the fence himself, of course.
Thank you.
It has been my pleasure.
So, Mark, how do you feel about the reviews in your book?
Well, I'm honored, really, with all the compliments on my romantic writing.
What are they saying about it?
Well, miss, they believe it's good for all ages and is not just a regular book about an old boy.
What did you hope in writing Tom Sawyer?
In writing Tom Sawyer, I had no idea of laying down the rules for breakup of small families, but merely to throw out hints as to how they might bring themselves up, and the boys seem to have caught the idea nicely.
What do you think of your writing?
High and fine literature is wine, and mine is only water, but everybody likes water.
What do you think is the right way to write a story?
I'm convinced that the right way to write a story for boys is to write so that I will not only interest the boys, but strongly interest a man who has ever been a boy. That immensely enlarges the audience.
What do you believe will happen to your book in the future?
Well, I'd be honored if they still remembered my name a century from now. But I don't think that's going to happen. I'm pretty sure the excitement will die down.
What if I told you the future of your book?
Well, that's not really possible. But if it was, I would be happy to hear it.
To tell you the truth, your book will not be forgotten even 150 years from now.
Well, so thank you.
Hello, America. We will be interviewing Mr. Brown a reporter from Books Today for an interesting day featuring reviews of old-time classics. Mr. Brown had flown all the way from New York to join us today.
Thank you. I'm very glad to be here.
Now, what does the general citizen think of Mark Twain's book, Tom Sawyer?
Well, America loves this old-time classic. It is still read even though it is well over 100 years old. It is read at homes and classrooms nationwide.
Thank you, sir.
Very welcome.
This was quite an exciting day.
So, how do you feel about your book, now that you have seen how much people appreciate it?
Well, I'm surprised that now there are so many books about troublemakers and so little about good old boys. I am now glad to have written mine.
In your book.
Well, I'm honored, really, with all the compliments on my romantic. It's hard to.
In the novel, Tom. Okay, I gotta start over because you just walked into the shot.
Might bring themselves up, and the boys seem to have caught the idea nicely.
What do you think of your writing?
It's okay.
Just give it a minute and then kind of.